We can confirm that the shooter had 2 handguns on his person when he was located. Those handguns are both 9mm. He also had additional magazines and ammunition on his person. Our investigative team did work with our federal ATF partners to trace those weapons, and we have learned that they were purchased legally by the shooter, but they were not registered. We can also confirm that a note was found on the shooter, and the location that the shooter was located was roughly 3.8 miles northwest of campus.
Information I'm going to give out is dealing with the contact that LPD had, LPD, MSP, and our state security officers had contact with the shooter at Lake Lansing and Larch Road. Our detectives responded to Lake Lansing Road and Larch Street, where a subject matching the MSU's shooting suspect, Anthony McRae, was observed walking. What had happened is the LPD officers received a call that subject matching that description was walking down the street. This was on Lake Lansing Road near Larch Street, City of Lansing. Officers made contact, 2 LPD officers made contact with the shooter, approximately 20 feet from McRae. They exited their vehicle, ordered him to show his hands. However, he produced a weapon and then killed himself. It does appear that from the body-worn camera that McRae did not verbalize anything to the officers prior to him shooting himself or taking his own life. Once they had waited for 2 additional state security officers to arrive on scene, they walked up to the shooter who was laying on the ground, cleared the scene for their safety, and then started life-saving efforts on him. However, he was declared deceased at the scene. After that, 2 other state troopers also showed up on scene. Our detectives arrived on scene. They conducted interviews with the officers on scene, photographed the area, downloaded body-worn cameras, in-car videos, and did round counts for all the officers to ensure that no rounds were fired. On scene again were 2 troopers, 2 Capitol Security officers, 2 Lansing Township PD officers, and also 2 LPD officers. Search was done after the scene was secure of McRae's residence with a search warrant that was authored by MSU PD along with LPD. At the residence, a cell phone was collected, journals of sorts, miscellaneous writings, and fired 9mm casings. McRae's father was also interviewed on scene by the MSP detectives at the Lansing Operations Building. Once the search of the residence was completed, detectives began a surveillance canvass to attempt to track the shooters once he cleared the MSU campus until he made contact with the LPD officers. They were able to track his journey from the MSU campus to where he was made contact. They are conducting additional surveillance canvases to see if we can find anything else where he might have been. Detectives are also assisting with downloading information from McRae's phone, following up on CATA, as 2 additional bus tickets were found in his possession. Found on McRae were 2 handguns, the one he shot himself with and another in his backpack that he was carrying. He also had a loaded magazine that was full to capacity in his left breast pocket. In the backpack, he had 8 loaded magazines of 9mm ammunition, along with a pencil-sized pouch containing 50 rounds of loose 9mm ammunition. He also had 2 empty magazines on his person as well. 2 pages of notes were found in his wallet, which was on his person as well. Those are that was the note that indicated where he was going to visit, and also kind of gave an indication of why he, maybe a motive, but nothing that we can actually confirm just yet. The investigation is ongoing, and at this time, We believe that there were no other subjects involved, and McRae was the lone shooter in this incident.
I'd like to clear up just a few things, a few topics of misinformation that we have been asked about either the accused McRae or the address, the Lansing address on House Street in the city of Lansing. LPD has not responded to any welfare checks for Anthony McRae. There was a welfare check at the address on House Street on February 5th that was not related to the accused. And LPD has not been called in any way to any shots fired at this address. The call history for the accused in this situation is very limited, but I will share this with you now to hopefully avoid any questions in the future. Starting back in 2005, McRae was contacted for a larceny complaint by the Lansing Police Department. 2006, a traffic violation. 2007, a traffic violation. 2007 again, another traffic violation. And in 2019, he was arrested by the Lansing Police Department for a CCW, which is a carrying a concealed weapon, which he was arrested for. And for that case, that weapon is still in Lansing Police Department custody.